to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine. Those cravens backstab.
And hello, guys. Welcome back to Valence League Div 1. We're entering week 3 here, and we have a fantastic set of games for you today. We've got Garlic Bread Mafia versus Area 69, and these are the two leading teams in the standoff at the moment. I'm Ope, and today I'll be joined by the Snow Spy, and we'll be casting today's games.
Oh, baby, man, this is going to be a banging set of games. And the weirdest part I just realized is, Oak, it's so strange because I can't see your face.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you at, buddy?
Where are we? But
I
it's
miss you.
fine. I miss you too, man. You know what? We'll get some cam in sometime. Maybe after today's games.
Oh my God, why don't we like old school it? I'll travel down to wherever you live, somewhere, and then I'll just sit behind you in your room, just
That'd be nice. We can
breathing
cuddle.
on you. Mm,
Getting back into
yeah,
today's
that's...
games, guys. We're looking at two really strong teams. Obviously, we're only week 3 here, but Garlic Bread Mafia are coming off a really hot win streak. They have yet to drop a game going into this split now. And even though Area 69 are sitting second in standings, they've also won both their series so far. So these teams are potentially the closest teams in terms of skill level that we can assess right now. So I'm just excited to get them in game as quickly as possible. Look at how they draft, because I feel like that's going to be the biggest standout for us, is like who's going to win game one, who's going to find options to turn it around is through draft.
Yeah, I think the main difference between these two teams, obviously, you spoke about how both of them have won a series, but this Garlic Bread Mafia side has won 2-0 absolutely cleanly, demolished the competition. Whereas
Hmm.
it's been a bit of a more difficult route for this Area 69 squad. They've had to take it to 3 games every series. And when we look at draft, Garlic Bread Mafia seems to have a grasp on how they want to play. They pick really simple drafts that have really easy to execute win conditions, and normally those are just 5 versus 5 comps. Wukong Top's a big one for them. These engaged supports are super big for them. Whereas on the flip side, Area 69 has been doing a lot of experimenting, and some of it good, but some of it not so good.
Yeah, I think honestly, experimentation might be the key though when we're going into this patch, because a lot of changes have happened recently with patch 11.19, and a couple of champions have jumped up very quickly in the spotlight. I think yesterday when I was casting, I saw one of them firsthand, and it looked disgusting, and that's the Amumu support. So, do you want to run us through that pick real quick?
Yeah, the Amumu support, just an absolute monster. Obviously, since they did the rework, he's been rising in popularity, and it offers so much to a team comp. He offers really good engage. He has such good base damage, 90 damage level 1 on that Q, which you have 2 charges of when you start off that game. So any level 1 trade that Amumu goes for, instantly won. Additional to that, he makes objectives super easy. If you didn't know, his W, the tiers that he has, does max health damage onto monsters. So early Drakes, early Barons, he offers a lot of utility in that form. And I think that's why in the support role, he's been seeing a lot more play, because he just offers so much to these comps. And especially when you have Mage's bot lane being played a lot more, his passive really helps utilize that damage that they output.
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of that pick in general, because hopefully maybe even in the jungle as well, because that's the thing. It can still be flexed into the jungle. It hasn't seen a lot of popularity in that role. Most of the popularity's been in that support, but the pick is incredibly dominant right now. And that goes alongside with picks like the Poppy and the Jarvan as well, which have popped up this patch, which once again, they received buffs in 11.19. Jarvan got a little bit of a bonus shielding on his W, and Poppy had her passive cooldown reduced
Yeah.
like really high in the early levels by like 4 seconds. So both champions looking really big as we go into this set of games.
And I think the most interesting changes for me are going to be how this shifts up the top lane. We've seen Aatrox and Mordekaiser have really big buffs to 2 of their key abilities in lane. For Aatrox, it's that W, that pullback, and for Mordekaiser, it's that E, that main CC ability he has. But as we get into this draft, we're going to see that Silas ban first away. Huge pickup for Demo. He's really good on this champion, and he's shown a great prowess on it.
Yeah, the champion's really scary in team fights in general, because it almost is a counter draft kind of thing. You draft a good comp, and then Silas gets drafted against you, and you're like, well, all our tools are being used against us now. Alternately, we also see Zillion taken away.
Yeah, Zillion taken off the board. It's Shokugeki's one of his biggest champions. It's got quite a few wins in VL so far for them, and they use it to help facilitate that AD carry. Serenity's what most people might say is one of the biggest carries on this team. He's pretty much a Twitch run trick. He plays that champ super well, and Zillion being a champion that works well alongside it, it makes sense that they want to take that away.
And the Jarvan also taken us away as well, something we noted beforehand. And the Twitch, just as you say it, also taken away from Serenity as well. So hopefully bumping these one tricks down a level as we're going into our third ban here for blue side.
Third ban from this blue side. It'll be interesting to see what they take away. Jarvan's already been taken. It seems like they want to take some of those engage tools away from this team. I think one of these support picks, Bard mid, obviously weird name for a person that plays support, but he's played a decent amount of aggressive champions. But Graves taken away, and that makes a lot of sense to me because it can be flexed into multiple roles. And I know you yourself are a bit of a Graves connoisseur.
Yeah, I love seeing that champion. And even after the nerfs, he got 11.17, where his mana cost and his Q got increased by 20. He's still seen incredible dominance where he's been able to be positioned in draft. Hopefully, we're going to see a response here. Now, because Area 69 are on blue side in game one, I want to know, what do you think they're going to be first picking?
First pick, it's always strange with this team because they put weird priorities onto weird champions. They're not very conventional, but as I say that Amumu is being hovered. It might be a joke, obviously. We were talking about in the pre-game about the Amumu, but it is locked in. And I know this is one team that has definitely flexed it to that jungle role.
And mentioned already, this champion is so dominant right now that Q buff with the charges being enabled means he has a really good CC chain. It's very easy. The champion's incredibly easy to pilot as well and can be flexed into two roles. Really strong blue side first pick coming out. Going to see what the response is here for Garlic Bread Mafia as they pick the Ezreal.
That's strange to me because Ezreal's not as big a counter against the Amumu as you might think. Amumu's Q is on such a low cooldown that even if Ezreal's able to dodge the first one, he then has to deal with the constant pressure of that Amumu hunting for him even more. And especially in bot lane, which can be super volatile in these platinum leagues, it's really strange to go for such a weak early game pick. But Hecarim picked up, most likely going to be onto BMO, shows me that they want to put prowess into their 5 versus 5 team fighting.
And yeah, Hecarim hasn't seen a lot of play since he got nerfed, or I guess changed somewhat, earlier this season. But still pretty decent jungle pick. And if the player's comfortable in the champion, hopefully we'll be able to pilot it as well. At the same time, we see Trist picked. Now this champion's seen a fair bit of play recently, but I wouldn't exactly call her priority.
No, I think it's to fit well with this Amumu. Amumu obviously has so much damage, so much engage potential. You want to really stomp into that bot lane. And Tristana has good early matchup into Ezreal. The only difficulty becomes if Ezreal can get a slight lead, if they can get some jungle pressure, he gets that Sheen early, all of a sudden outranges that Tristana and can start to look like an absolute monster. But Galio being hovered here now by the Garlic Bread Mafia is a huge pickup for Demo, but it looks like it won't be that. They're going to opt for the Braum instead. Super safe bot lane, definitely looking to scale up.
Absolutely, picking some safety picks in the bot side, and with this draft from Garlic Bread Mafia, we're not really seeing a specific kind of comp goal yet, kind of aligning, which does give them a lot of flexibility in draft in the second rotation. But we're going to see a few key picks knocked down now in second bans. Area 69 obviously picking up the Mundo there. This champion has seen a little bit of play, not sitting very hot in the standings at the moment. I think he's currently last in OP.GG's top lane rankings. Most people just don't seem to be playing him, and his win rate just fallen quite significantly since last patch as well.
I think the issue is because of how easy anti-heal is in terms of the accessibility of it, it becomes a lot more difficult to play this Mundo because when he gets to those later game points, when he gets that Spirit Visage, when he can get to 3-4 items, anti-heal doesn't affect him as much and he still outputs a lot of damage, but it's early game. 800 gold is not a lot to invest, especially to shut down the Mundo early game. But in terms of this second ban phase, we're seeing a lot of respect onto the mid laner of Area 69. Xerath banned away, had a huge pop-off game on that a couple weeks ago. Corki, one of the main champions, and Orianna. This is pretty much, these three champions are all this mid laner has been playing. So we'll have to see if they've got a fourth pick available for him or if they're going to be a little bit stuck.
And it looks like Area 69 also giving a little bit of respect to Thunder in there, banning away 2 top lane picks. And both these champions do have a pretty good time into tanks. So we're gonna see fourth pick now, and the Fiora's hovered. Is it locked in? Goes for Shen instead.
Swaps that one around, gonna offer extra safety to that Ezreal. And this I will say is strange to me, but I'll talk a little bit more about it as this game moves forward. Akshan being hovered on the flip side, I think this composition right now has a lot of early game damage. You do have some scaling in this Mundo, but I feel like you need to push the tempo. You've got Tristana, you've got a Mumu, you need a mid lane that you can really play around. And something like Twisted Fate does help in that ability to play make early.
Yeah, and I think, Hover de LeBlanc there, but kind of scary to play an assassin into the Shen Brom combo, right? I think the Twisted Fate definitely offering a lot more utility for his comp, maybe looking to get some pressure in these lanes, but jungle is yet to be picked. So hopefully going to see a jungler locked in now, unless the Amumu is flexed into the jungle.
Yeah, this will be the point where they have to decide. I think the Amumu is absolutely fine to go bot lane, but it looks like it will be that jungle pickup instead. I do think this is a little bit of a mistake because Amumu is going to have a hard time into that Hecarim. He's going to get out. He's going to get outpathed in terms of the speed of clear, and he's going to, at least early game, he's going to lose those one versus ones unless he can make it a super extended trade. But on the flip side, now we're going to see this rise pickup for General Demo.
And the Rise, I think as champion's always scary when you see him because I feel like only Rise players play Rise, if you get me. Like that champion when
Mm.
he's picked is the players already ready to they understand MUs, they know exactly what their goals are. So Demo, star of Garlic Bread Mafia, picking up the Rise here. I'm excited for these comps because we're seeing a very different goal from each team, right? Because blue side, this is kind of a signature kind of front to back double tank plus thresh. You want to find that engage and find that big AoE. But then uh, Garlic Bread Mafia deciding to go very disengagey with the Ezreal, the Braum, and the Shen all together, just providing. I think just they're looking for the counter engage, right?
Yeah, and they do have a lot of side lane pressure as well. Rise and Shen together can really bully people on those side lanes. They should be able to win pretty much any one versus one that comes at them. The only issue is Twisted Fate is a champion known for shutting down the side lane. If at any point that Shen pushes a bit too far, in comes Twisted Fate. Yes, that gold card can be blocked, but at a certain point it becomes really difficult when you've got these first towers that go down, the tier twos end up going down, and you're being chased through a long lane. It's difficult to get away from there. I will say uh, the one difficulty for it, the reason why I don't like this Shen, I think it is helped a bit by the rise, but it's the fact that you didn't really have anyone to buff. Ezreal was going to be safe anyway. He has a Braum there protecting him. And so you didn't really have anyone bar that Hecarim that you could make big plays on. But we'll have to see how this comp functions as a whole in these team fights, because it's difficult when you have a Hecarim for the rest of the team to really follow up that engage.
So sitting down and maybe taking a little bit of perspective on the lanes here, I think the bot lane is going to be quite an important matchup in game one because we're seeing very different goals being laid out. Thresh, Trist, very clearly, they're itemizing towards that single item spike. That I mean, Trist is a fantastic two item spike as well, and the Thresh definitely an early roamer, a lot of early pressure. In the game, whereas alternatively, we're seeing Ezreal and Braum like a real safety net for the teams. Um, how do you think each jungler wants to play around these lanes?
I think it's going to be a really fast paced game, at least for the side of Area 69. You need to try snowball this Tristana. You need to try relieve pressure for this Twisted Fate. The issue is he's picked into the Rise. The Rise is such a good champion versus Twisted Fate because he can match the global pressure with that semi global ultimate, but he also should always get push. That minion dematerializer, if Hell be opts to go into that spell book, is going to be super important which wave they use that on and how they can use that to make plays across the map.
Yep, I think the Rise Twisted Fate matchup's definitely going to be something we're looking towards, and also we're going to be assessing how strong this Amumu jungle is when we're
Mm.
going into these games because we've seen plenty of play in the Amumu support, but people haven't been Amumu's still not really popping up in jungle at the moment as one of these kind of key picks right now. The Jarvan looking real good, Lee Sin, Viego's still kind of in there, and the Talon's popped up this patch. But so I guess Big Booby Bob's got a lot of pressure on him to show up with this game, but at least they've got very clearly defined goals with their comp.
Yeah, they know what they want to do, and it's not the most difficult comp to execute. You sprint at them, you CC them, you look to get onto their carries, and it's more it's more really easy, really reliable engage. It's really difficult to miss a gold card. It's really difficult to miss that Amumu ult, and Tristana can just follow up with a load of damage onto it. I do think the one question mark I have for this draft is the Thresh into the Braum. I understand that you want to flex the Amumu, you want to make it something interesting, but then picking Thresh into Braum, Braum is a natural counter to Thresh and Tristana, because any time that a hook comes through, you can just pop that shield up, negates a lot of damage. It's really hard to all in versus this champion. And Thresh, it doesn't have the best synergies with Tristana. You have to play it super aggressive to make the pick work. And on the flip side, Ignitar and Bard mid will be absolutely fine just scaling up, getting to late game where they would just out damage the enemy composition.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys, looks like we're going to be heading into game one now. Remember to stay seated. We're going to have a quick pause at 10 seconds whilst we get into games. So first of all, we're going to have a quick summoner check, see what people are running, see what runes are being played here.
Nothing out of the ordinary, the simple stuff. I am a bit surprised by the Ezreal going cleanse. I mean, it makes sense, obviously, for the TF gold card and the Amumu engage. It's not going to be the most useful in lane, so they'll have to be a little bit scared in that laning phase, because if they are able to find an all-in for the side of Area 69, that summoner spell difference can make a huge difference in those 2v2s.
Little bit of a sidetrack here. I've never seen that Braum skin before. That is
Have you not?
no, literally no. I have never seen that skin before. That's spicy. That is.
I'll tell you one reason why that might be. Well, one, like barely anyone plays Braum. Like the champion's just not really played that much. And
Yeah.
two, it's a skin that's banned in pro play. So that's why you wouldn't see it in pro
Oh,
play.
okay.
It's
Why
one
is
of
it banned
those.
in pro play?
It's one of those skins. So there's quite a few skins that are banned in pro play because you can't see the visuals of it as well. So I
Yeah.
think it's his ultimate and his Q, because they're quite light. They blend in with the map, and players that are colorblind, they just can't see it.
Yeah, I've got, recently actually, I met two colorblind people within a week of each other at work, and they both have the opposite kind of colorblind. But I remember I was talking to one of them about this. League can be really devastating
Mm,
when you can't have the correct, because like there's different kinds of colorblindness, and League's colorblind mode only helps a certain type of colorblind. So there's been issue with like I remember back in the day when Tom Kench was released. Tom Kench's shield used to be basically just not
yeah.
visible for colorblind people. They just wouldn't be able to see how much HP Kench had, which was quite funny. But looks like we're going to be loading into game any second now, guys. Just a reminder, we're going to be having a quick pause of 10 seconds before we get into the action.
The classic 10-second pause. We all love it. We all know about it.
Yep.
I think the one thing that I do just want to point at as we're about to lead into this pause, I just want to, I'm interested in what's going to happen in this level one, because obviously you have both supports are very well versed in that level one, and they're able to find these engages early.
Yeah. Right. And I think casters are ready. So whenever we're good. Brilliant. Looks like we're heading into game one, boys. Hope you're all excited for a fantastic series with me and Snow Spy today. Gonna have Area 69 on the blue side and Garlic Bread Mafia on red side for this game set. Any level one shenanigans happening? Doesn't look likely.
I wouldn't expect to see those. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if this Garlic Bread Mafia side decided to 5-stack in a bush, but against a Mumu, I really doubt that you want to be playing those. I mean, it is a bit weird for him to start that queue, but so much CC can come out, and you can stack that with a TF gold card with everything else. And this is a bit strange that Ignitar's walking up. I will say that much, but
Does he
guess
get the mana flow?
yeah, gonna walk
Did he get the
out.
mana flow? It's a one game.
It's a
The
mana flow
game's
diff.
over. Mafia diff. They've already won the game. Mana flow diff.
How do you even play now if you're the
How do
side
you
of
come back from that?
like, yeah, you just can't. It's it's
They also get the vision down as well. So it looks like we're seeing, hopefully, I'm thinking BMO might be switching to the red trinket here to clear that first wall, get you a little bit of extra XP, but it doesn't have the timer. They're just going to head down to that blue buff there. And looks like regular starting from both sides here.
Yeah, regular start's gonna come through, bot to top. It's a VL classic. I always talk about this when I'm on a VL cast. I hate to see it, because you have someone that's in a losing jungle matchup and they go, "Oh, I really want the bot lane pool because it's a little bit faster." So I'm just gonna go that way and then pray that Hecarim for some reason doesn't contest you on the scuttle. But I'm not going to talk about that because it will only make me angry. What won't make me angry though is the fact that BMO is going for quite an interesting pathing here. Going to try contest Big Booby Bob on these Raptors.
Getting spotted on the ward there. But just gonna go ahead and take away those wraiths, I guess, and that will limit Amumu's clear. Amumu does like taking the wraiths. Very quick clear of those. At the same time, I'm gonna see a little bit of trading in the top lane, a little bit of grass back and forth as
I,
both of them
and
try to.
I don't think anyone was paying attention because they didn't ping it and they didn't really look out for it. But Helby is going to spot it there, and Big Booby Bob not going to be the happiest about that. As in the top lane, a big trade.
Yep, and that's Shen, baby. He's a big bully in the lanes. People always forget this. Shen does very well in lane. As Big Hook comes in, double the flay into it. The Brom Shield's going to block a lot of that damage, but Ignite gets burnt out there. Ignite having to dash back, but Tristana jumps forward, trying to find the kill. Bard mid falling a little bit low there, but they both get out with the HP. That heal difference has made that trade really hard for them. As a little bit of grass trading in the top lane as well, and Thunderin really trying to prove he's the top lane king right now.
And that's just the Braum difference was the one thing that kept them alive. Not that it was a good fight for them, not that it went well, but any other champion than Braum, that explosive bomb gets onto the Ezreal, is going to be able to blow that person up instantly. But flash down now could lead to some more pressure coming through, as this Thresh is going to walk into the enemy jungle and place a really nice ward that will spot out BMO's pathing.
Yeah, fantastic. Once BMO gets onto that scuttle, does his reset, if he's trying to clear properly, that'll spot him out in about a minute or so. So really good vision control from Shogu Keki there. And just a little bit of watching a little bit of dry spell right now as a little bit of scuttle contention. Looks like BMO doesn't get the smite for it. Gets caught out as well. We see Atomic moving up here. A little bit low though, but BMO just gets chunked. And that's first blood for Big Booby Bob.
Yeah, smites away that scuttle. Really nice play from Big Booby Bob to keep their cool, wait until that scuttle gets low, smite that one away, and instantly gets to level 4. And you've got top pressure. It becomes an easy fight. And I was speaking about how Amumu wants to avoid Hecarim. Looks like BMO wants to avoid Big Boobies.
I mean, it's just a bit of a smite difference. Plus the fact that they had the solo lanes that should have the pressure earlier. We saw Thunderin getting some really good trades in, but he pushed that wave just a little bit too early. So the wave smack him back as Atomic goes to fight there. So, I mean, maybe Thunderin could have moved down anyway, but he just didn't. And yeah, first blood given away to Area 69 there. So, we talked about Big Booby Bob maybe struggling in this MU, but he's sitting cozy right now.
Yeah, absolutely loving life up in CS now, and it looks like that invade from BMO is kind of set them off their pathing a little bit. Their respawns on their camps aren't really going to be in sync, whereas this Amumu, because of the fact that those Raptors were taken away, is going to be absolutely happy to go to those Krugs, go to those Raptors, maybe look for a mid gank, and then just carry on clearing topside after that.
Yeah, Serenity kind of given away maybe that Shogugeki is not currently in lane, but they don't really care. They're just happy to let the Ezreal farm at the moment. We do see, obviously, double scuttle for Big Booby Bob's going to be really big.
This is a bait. This is for sure a bait.
They were looking for it, but looks like Bard Mid just going to walk away there. And with this double scuttle, this could be maybe leading into this first Drake here, because there's no real vision from Garlic Bread Mafia to stop it.
And now it's just the war of attrition. It's pretty much like the Cold War again. We're we're waiting to see who runs out of resources first, needs to base, and the team that gets the first base off most likely going to be able to get that dragon.
Yeah, Viper's looking real healthy in the top lane. Just real quick there, you're seeing neither a burn TP, but it looks like Viper found a little bit of both sides have found a reset, and now Thunderin's chunked a little bit low. As both mid laners are now 6, so Helby does have access to that Destiny now, can start to impact the map a little bit more. And as we mentioned, it looks like he's pathing down to boss side, but I mean, look at Thunderin, really low right now, and in a really easy spot for a gank here as Big Booby Bob's clearing through those jungle camps.
Yeah, this is just horrible wave state, and it's not going to get any better, as Atomic Viper is going to be absolutely fine holding this wave here, just looking to poke Thunderin. And right now, as this Shen, it's really difficult because you end up having to make that decision. Do I commit to pushing the wave, even though I might get ganked and ported on by this TP? Or do I take the simple base as he does now, miss a little bit of CS, and look to play for the team with this stand united on Dragon?
Yeah, I think it's really important that he holds that stand united so that he can counter the Destiny when he has it, because otherwise you're leaving Ignitar, especially when he had, I mean, the cleanser's back up now. Maybe a catch into Demo as Big Booby Bob burns the flash early, gets a second Q out alongside with the Ignite and the stun card, gets ignited, but that stand united comes in big. Double taunt coming in with Beam on the flank. picks up one, looking for the second kill now. Big Baby Bob struggling to run away here, but might be getting out. BMO flashes forward and picks up the double. What a fantastic turnaround.
And just a little bit overzealous play, not quite thinking about the stand United being up. You got the flash, that's absolutely fine. Brilliant gank. That's the point when you need to leave. As soon as you see that stand United, it already becomes a little bit too late. The benefit is, though, Fenderin is going to miss a huge wave top. And the only negative and the downside is because your team is now behind on tempo, you are going to lose that dragon out, and you're going to have to look to make your own advantage off of these lost summoners now.
Yeah, Fenderin now a level down, but that gets returned for 2 kills and they pick up first strike. I think Fenderin's pretty happy with that trade overall. He's still, similar CS levels. And we see mid also didn't end up bleeding too much from that either. So, whilst first strike gets given, we're seeing that even with the kill down, Area 69 have a same gold lead at the moment.
And this is where we really need to see what Helby can do with this TF pick. Not usually a player that is one to push waves and roam. He's more of a player that likes to scale up, play for that late game. So I'm really looking for that shift of play style and going, okay, I need to play for the team now because I'm on this TF. If I sit back and scale, Ryze is going to outscale me. And we have a bot lane that can hard win if I impact that matchup.
Yeah, not just bot as well. I think Fenderin has repeatedly found himself in little wave states where he might be particularly vulnerable to Helby's rotation. So maybe there'll be a punish in the top side as well, just to get some gold on that TF2. But not seeing too much action at the moment. It seems like all 3 lanes are just kind of just farming.
Yeah, they're just chilling. They're just vibing out, having a good time. As roams are going to come through from Shokugeki. Can't really be punished by this bard, but Realm used. The stun is used as well.
Big stun comes out here. Looks like General Demo is going to fall a little bit low. Probably going to get picked up by Bob here. As oh my god, we get directed cam trolling us. Fantastic Ezreal to finish off the kills. General Demo gets killed by Big Booby Bob at the same time. True Shot Barrage finding that kill onto Serenity. What a mix of things. BMO walks in blind. Hook gonna come out, land onto BMO. Big Booby Bob picks up another kill, and just some weird back and forths there. But Big Booby Bob now 3-1. Bit of a bounty as well, as Fenderin's getting caught out in the top lane. Gonna have to use that taunt to try and get away, but he's chunked real low. And it's Booby Bob liking this kind of trade at the moment.
And we see there, we'll have to see what each team gets from this, because we're not really anything to fight over there. Rift Herald could have possibly been taken by this Area 69. They opt for the simple red buff invade. Meanwhile, on the flip side, bot lane, they are able to get that kill and then push for that extra plate. So they're getting themselves a little bit ahead of a matchup that in the 2 versus 2, they were losing.
Yeah, and Bimo just going to clear out this pink. That'll do instead of red buff. He's happy with that. So none of his jungle is up at the moment. Going to have to head over to his Krugs, looking a little bit sullen. But, the big thing there is they ended up burning the Curse of the Sad Mummy. So they do, their ultimates are going to, that Onslaught of Shadows is going to be up earlier. So he still has the opportunity, Bimo still has the opportunity to try and make a play again in other lanes. And the difference between their draft and the enemies is that they have multiple lanes they can impact. They can play through Demo if they wish and try and get another kill onto Helby, and they can also play through their bot lane.
Yeah, I think it's been I'm not impressed with the fact that we spoke in early game about how much impact on the map these players could have on Area 69, and they haven't really utilized these champions to their fullest potential. They've kind of been letting Ezreal just sit in bot lane. Up in CS, in fact, just absolutely happy to get to a point where they outrange this Tristana like they are now. And in fact, they're able to get pressure in a lane where Tristana Thresh should just be constantly bullying this Ezreal.
Yeah, at the same time, a little bit of trading in the top lane. I think we're just going to see this constant back and forth of just, I guess, free trading grasp. But Thunderin finding himself in a bit of a wave spot, a little bit of bother, as Big Booby Bob's going to rotate up to this top lane. Q comes out, but taunts out of it as we pan down to bot lane and see. Looks like they're going to be shoving in this bot wave. Yeah. Oh, bit of trading in the mid lane, though. Helby getting chunked real low by Demo there, and probably going to be forced to reset. I mean, some really good trading showing in the mid lane. That's going to give a little bit of space for the rest of his team to maybe look for some more aggressive plays like this as the hook lands. Looks like the True Shot Barrage is going to come out. Bard mid not getting chunked very low, uses the ulti combined with the Ignite, and then Serenity just jumps out, gets away for free. But Bemo's showing on map now. He shows in bot lane, and they could be setting up for a dive here. The Stand United is available. or they still have the cleanse from the Ezreal as well. Just let's see who they're going to try and make the kill on.
Oh, they've got to go for this now, and
Yep.
they look like they
Oh,
are.
Destiny comes out alongside with the onslaught of shadows, picks up the Tristana, but Bard mid falling real low as he gets picked out. The Taunt comes out, Thunderin's tanking down as Helby gets picked down too. It's a whole party. Everybody's here today. Mumu popping in as well. Uses that Curse of the Sad Mummy. Demo and Thunderin so low here. The second Q as well. That change is coming in big as another 2 kills are found. And whilst this fight looks really good for General Bread Mafia there, as a flash comes out for the Q as well. BMO just hopefully going to walk away there, but we don't know how low that cooldown is on the Q. Might have it available again. Nobody's here to support BMO. He needs the moves. He hasn't got the moves. Atomic Viper using that slow has to burn the flash, but Atomic Viper flashes forward and finds the kill with that grass proc as well. What looked like a really good fight for General Bread Mafia there just gets absolutely negated by Big Booby Bob's absolute just mastery of the Amumu jungle.
It's a bot lane party at 10 minutes. Oh, you've got to love it. Everyone sends everything down there. And the team with the turret, you're fighting a 6 versus 5. But oh, the Ezreal was so close. And it leads to the dragon for this Area 69 team. They've got to watch out, though, because they haven't had their resets.
Pick onto Ignitar here. Gets flayed out. Gonna use that blast cone to walk away, though. And the hook gets found. Doesn't follow through. He's so low. We see Bard mid looking to maybe get a little bit of a catch here as they have the numbers right now. General Demo moving down, Taunt lands onto Atomic. It doesn't end up working. They almost had the save there, but it does look like Atomic's gonna fall there. And Budman's starting quite aggressively here, maybe trying to pick up a second kill, but Ignitar's looking real low.
Yeah, and it's just that they took the dragon. It was really good, but they always wanted more. They landed a nice hook, and they were like, yes, let's get this. Let's push the tempo. But you hadn't had your resets, and you didn't have tempo on that play. You were trying to force it out of nowhere. You had took that dragon. That was your reset timer. Waves were in such a good state, but they overreach, and they get punished for it.
Yeah, and I think now we're kind of looking at who's the strongest in each team, right? Because whilst Big Booby Bob, our big fight, though, another pick onto BMO, getting CC chained up here. The Thresh ultimate comes out along with the response, but I mean, he can't move. BMO can't move. Mercs haven't been bought yet. The man just ends up falling for free.
And they can carry on this fight bot lane. They don't seem to want to, though. It's in the mid lane there's going to be another fight.
Yeah, just a little bit of aggressive stancing coming from basically every player on both sides here. They're all trying to see if they can get a little bit of HP damage out, but not much more going to happen as Stenderin tries to trade in the top lane. But you're seeing, whilst Atomic was suffering in these early trades, that those repeated kills and a little bit of that CS and XP lead seems to be benefiting him. As I say that, he gets strunked out again.
And now we see a Mumu sneaking in, uses that blast plant, but it won't lead to anything, just a little bit of pressure in this bot lane. And right now I feel like they're going to need to turn their attention. Either they will need to decide, do they want this second dragon or do they want this herald? Because they're both coming up at the same time and both of them can really work with your comp. I think on the side of Area 69, you want to look towards that herald. You want to snowball your lead. You want to look to get as much gold on these carries as possible. And then you can look to just secure every dragon after that before this Ryze and this Ezreal are allowed to scale.
Yeah, and Ezreal's like 2-item spike is really significant. So hopefully getting that Ezreal onto that Sundra, finish that tier up as well, get that Moromana picked up, will put them in a better spot to be fighting here, I think. And also, but the scary thing is because the Amumu's so strong, it's just a giant stat ball throwing himself at you. And it's definitely up to Ignitar and Bard mid to find some damage, through this double front line. And Ezreal, historically not a very good tank killer, but that Sundra build hopefully will come in big in these fights upcoming.
I'm going to have that Sundra, going to be able to build a bit of armor pen as well with that. I was about to say Shurelia's then. Serelda's Grudge. And his issue we're starting to see now is it's getting to a point where Helby can't contest General Demo on the wave. We're seeing waves constantly pushed in, which means that Helby has to spend a lot of his time just catching that mid wave. And it means General Demo is going to actually have first move on most of these plays now.
And they're going to try and find a bit of damage onto Big Booby Bob, chunking him down to, taking a quarter of his HP, decently significant. But in return, Shoko Geki has set up quite a massive of vision here on this bot side. And that's going to be really helpful for Big Booby Bob to try and make a pick, as forcing the flash away from Bard mid there. Definitely scared of getting that CC chain. And that he saw earlier happen to BMO. So using the flash for safety there is Helby's going to clear out some vision here, and they're going to set up hopefully for a dive on this boss side, or at least for the pressure.
Yeah, trying to pressure into this bot lane, and I do think it's strange that neither team has opted to try settle for these first few trades. It makes sense on the side of Garlic Bread Mafia. If you open up the map, it facilitates TF really well to use that ultimate and try find picks on a side lane. But for the side of Area 69, I would have liked them to see, say, drop that bot turret, get top turret, because if you're able to spread that map up, open it up a bit more, your TF can be free to make so many more plays.
Quite a bit of trading in the top lane. Thunderin had to burn that taunt early. Flashes away, but Atomic doesn't care. Pops that maximum dosage and just smacks him in the face.
Sorry about that one, mate. I didn't realize that they were just gonna rumble to the death there. I was like, yeah, easy E out, easy taunt out from Thunderin. Maybe has to waste flash, but no, he just decides we're rumbling to the death.
And I think the big issue, right, is because look at his itemization. This is a really weird build we're seeing from the Shen. No boots built yet. Warmog's Rush means he's looking for the maximum efficiency on that Stand United bonus shielding. But in return, his dueling power is really limited, and he's also slow as hell.
And it's this, we're starting to see this level difference be super impactful in this 1v1 matchup. The fact that Thunderin has been trying to play around his lanes, trying to make these Stand United plays on bad wave states in the top lane, it's meant that you're getting behind in XP, you're falling behind in gold, that slight amount, and this 1v1 matchup isn't going to get any easier for you against this Monday.
And Area 69 looking real strong at the moment, using that 3k gold lead, not only to pick up the first tower for Atomic Viper there, but also they get the first Infernal of this Infernal Soul. Looking real good right now. 2 Drake up. It's only 18 minutes, so they're looking at a 28-minute Soul. And I mean, to be fair, I don't really see a point of contention for Garlic Bread Mafia right now. I mean, how are they looking to win these fights?
Oh, and I think this is super smart from Serenity right now, moving up towards that Rift Herald. Going to take the red buff, and I would expect them to move towards that mid lane to push that one out and help on that Herald before it goes down. I just think that's the absolute play you want to do. I spoke about how you need to prioritize Dragon or Rift Herald, but this Garlic Bread Mafia side wasn't able to trade the objectives, so now you might find yourself with both.
Yeah, and I think also a testament to how well he's clearing, right? Because we see minimal camps up as well from both sides. So Big Booby Bob doing a fantastic job of keeping up the CS with that Hecarim as Destiny gets used onto Ixnatar, uses that E really aggressively. Stand United gets used, maybe going to look for a return, but that looks like he's just not much is going to happen. Oh, wait, I say that, but a dive comes in, Onslaught of Shadows onto Shugekeki, gets caught. The stun card comes out, going to get a return kill, but they get the pick onto the Tristana as well as Helby's caught in a bit of a situation right now. It's a fantastic tower aggro usage there. Thunderin standing till the last minute there to tank as much damage as possible, but Big Booby Bob's showing up. He's got the boobies ready, uses the Curse of the Sad Mummy, gets the kill onto the Ezreal. He's looking for more that he tastes blood. Bard mid is dead. Big Booby Bob now trying to get the runaway, but does General Demo have the damage? Fantastic Q onto the Krogs as well to make his escape. General Demo flashes forward, but is he going to have the damage? Big Booby Bob got quite a lot of HP here, does get caught up by that Everfrost, and Demo picks up the kill.
Look how much they've lost. So many waves going down to mid lane. So many waves going down top lane. Possibly a tier 2 taken down. And yeah, that dive was good. It gave you a bit of pressure, but you lost so much for it. And this side of Area 69 was able to get so much back in return.
Yeah, that 3k gold lead, only 2k now. They found a little bit of gold bonus, plus they unlocked that bot tower. So whilst, Atomic Viper's finding that tier 2, without the, the pressure on the other side of the map, it means that if they do want to continue that split push, there's going to be, it's going to be quite hard for Atomic Viper to do that freely. I mean, I think the only thing he has going right now is that he has his mythic built. So Thunderin really doesn't stand much in the way of stopping him from doing what he pleases.
No, Mundo goes where he pleases and takes what he pleases, especially within this game. 2 turrets taken down. would expect them to move towards bot lane and try take that turret since they're pretty much uncontested in the 1 versus 1. Ryze can't really stop them. Shen can't stop them. Pretty much unkillable. And 2 minutes from this dragon. And I think it's really important right now to look at these item spikes. 2 items now on Ezreal. This is the point where we said he's going to spike hard. This is one of Ezreal's strongest points. Can start to really out damage the enemies, especially with that fully stacked mirror mana. It means that now is the point where if you want to find a fight, you're going to be super strong compared to Serenity.
Oh, aggressive E in there as we see General Demo using that Realm Warp. The taunt does miss, but gets locked up by the Everfrost, and the kill's going to be given to Thunder in there. As it looks like Atomic Viper's trying to make a pick into bottom mid. He stopped